Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy bonus reading for the element of water for September of 2025. If you're interested as to why I read for the elements versus the zodiac, there's a video that I have made. I'm not sure if I link it in this video or in here or not, but there's a video I made talking about that. If you've never had your charts read, you can check out, there is a link in the description for this one. It is a birth chart, a natal chart that Llewellyn does, and it's not a sponsored link or anything, although I would take that if they ever offered it. But gives you your base 12 houses and all of the signs and symbols, and then it also goes through all of the elements as well, which is kind of fun because it's usually you're dominant in 2, and 2 are recessive. Not always, but that tends to be the case. For me, water is my dominant energy. Air actually is my secondary. So it's kind of interesting to see, because I feel like that energy, especially when you're first starting out and you're trying to understand all of those little dots and how they line up and what it all means, the elements tend to be a little bit easier to grasp right off the bat because it's a paragraph and a half. And it just gives you a general overview of who you are, where you're at, kind of your dominant emotions and things like that. So it's kind of fun. But I use the Celtic Cross as a basic reading for the bonus readings, and these are general readings, so take what works, leave the rest. I also read intuitively, so if something is not identical to what the card's official meaning is, that's fine. That's because I'm working with source, I'm not working from the book. If you have a different image that comes to mind, if you're comfortable with it, feel free to drop that information down below. It's always fun to hear other people who read intuitively's opinion or ideas about the cards, because you never know. I might say something that won't resonate, but your comment might resonate. So let's start you off water and water is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Your first card, your significator, this is who you are in this moment as a whole, is the Page of Pentacles. So foundationally, because Pentacles are Earth, which is a friendly sign or a friendly element for you, the page is saying you're in an apprentice state. You've learned a great deal, and now it's time for you to kind of step out on your own. It's your turn to be the one who makes the decisions. You still have a guide that's hanging out watching you make your decisions, giving you a little advice as you go, but where you're at right now is you've completed a great deal of study, you've completed a great deal of practice to get to a point where you're getting ready to step out on your own. So water, what this really is saying in this particular instance as a bonus is whatever it is you've been working on, you're into that point where enough with the internal work, enough with the groundwork, now it's time to start putting things into action. It doesn't have to be huge action. It can be a little stuff like you want to open that business online. Maybe this is where you publish your website. Maybe this is where you make sure you have all your paperwork, tax IDs, and all that fun nonsense. You have all that stuff ready, and you're just stepping out to be like, okay, I'm going to do this. You're scheduling it, whatever it is. Whatever it is you've been building towards, this is saying you're ready to start taking action. So the energy that crosses you, and this could be an obstacle, a challenge, a mindset that's just not working quite right. We have the Page of Swords, which is interesting because your significator, you, is an earth energy and swords are air. So this is definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge. But it's saying, water, you've already fought some battles. You've gained knowledge. You've gained wisdom. Now it is the apprenticeship, so to speak, of the sword. It is saying you're ready to be able to battle on your own if need be. The challenge is knowing when that is appropriate and when it's not. And when we talk about battles, we're talking about like confronting a challenge, confronting a situation that needs to be dealt with, whether that's a coworker that's being a problem and you have to go to your boss about it, whether that is something in the house that needs to be discussed and you both are tap dancing around it. Whatever it is, the Page of Swords is saying enough with the tap dancing. You know when it's necessary to step forward and act. Now you are ready to make those decisions. And if you're not, that's where the challenge comes in, because it's calling you to find out what more do you need to access that next level. So your higher self energy is the Lovers. This card is so fun because you've got cranes, you've got fish, and you've got dragons all in their Lovers state. So you've got a lot of energy here. Your higher self is saying this is a time for connection. This month especially is either reconnecting with friends, because the Lovers it just talks mainly about it being in a relationship, things coming together. It could be between you and your spouse, in which case see what fires up, because the Lovers popping up could indicate a deepening of a relationship. It could be taking something to the next level, which is interesting because the Page of Pentacles being Earth, where you're at right now, is saying you're ready to take those next steps. All of the planning has been done. Now it's time for the action. Earth deals with finances, home, and family life. So then you have the Lovers coming in as your higher self. You could definitely be looking at some interesting love energy coming in this month. And also saying a deepening of. So if you're already in a relationship, this could be taking it to the next level, going from, dating to, marriage or proposal. It could be just friends to dating. It could be just finding that bestie that you have, because everyone has at least one of these, where they're not generally your spouse. Sometimes they are. Where the intimacy between you, and I'm not talking physical contact, the spiritual intimacy is so deep that you can literally hear their thoughts at all times. I've got a friend like that. It creeps people out because we can have entire conversations without actually opening our mouths. And even her spouse is like, how do you two do this? Just the way our friendship works. And I've met other people who have the same thing, and most of the time it's not who you're married to, and it has nothing to do with sexuality. Like, there's zero interest there in these situations, because it's like, ew, that's like my brother or my sister, gross. And that's how they look at it, because they're so in tune that part is just no, sorry. And that's what it could be coming up. But whatever it is, there's a deepening of a connection. But the Lovers card also indicates, to a certain extent, a successful endeavor coming to completion, everything coming together at the last minute to be the perfect aspect. And that ties into that Page of Pentacles energy as well. So your shadow energy, this is such a cool card in this deck, is the Chariot. Your shadow is where you shove all those things that you're repressing, your regrets, your shames, all of that stuff you shove back there. But the Chariot is saying it's time to start accelerating. Things need to move. You can't keep putting things in the shadow and not expecting it to rise up a little bit. And when you see here, you've got a white dragon, you have a black dragon, meaning your shadow carries good and not so great. What we're doing when we work with shadow work is we're trying to sort out the negative, figure out why we still carrying that thing around, and remove it. Or if it's something that actually is one of those diamonds that you've hidden back there, like a spiritual talent or some way of responding to something. A lot of people could be really amazing singers, really amazing writers, really amazing at whatever art form they're interested in, carving, crocheting, knitting, sewing, embroidery, whatever. But because they were told at some point in their lives, oh, well, men don't do that, into the shadow. Well, that's not very ladylike, into the shadow. The reality is, those are still your gifts and your talents. Just because someone else had an opinion when you were little and you didn't know how to deal with it, you shoved it back. But now you're older. Bring it out. Is it something you can use? Is it something that's valuable, which more than likely it is because it's part of who you are? Bring it into the light, polish it up, and notice the diamond you carry. Your shadow's saying it's time to accelerate this process. And it doesn't mean you have to go in there and dig around. When you start asking your spirit guides or God Source Divine to help me understand my shadow, it will start bringing things up that you're ready to deal with. Meaning you're emotionally, mentally, spiritually mature enough to see what's going on here, unravel it, dust it off. If it's something important, you can integrate it back in, and if it's not, you can actually get rid of it and quit carrying it around. So that's some interestingly heavy work that's coming up for the month of September for our water family. But don't forget the Lovers as your higher self. Whatever's coming up and going on right now is going to end with success. So that's a good thing. Your immediate past is the Queen of Swords. They're saying that there's been, in your past, last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, there's been some focus on one failure. And they're wanting you to say, why are you so worried about that one failure? That one failure is not the totality of who you are, water. That was one aspect. You are in an area of growth. There's been a lot of successes, but it's like this one failure. I just can't believe I didn't do that right, or I can't believe I missed that promotion, or I can't believe that person said no. Was it the right person, though? This is where we start learning from our mistakes. We learn from the things that have happened so that we can improve and become something better. And there are times we'll be focusing on something thinking it's a mistake, and the universe is tapping you on the shoulder going, that wasn't your mission. Look to your right, look to your left. That's what you were aiming for. What are you worried about this thing for? So don't take the stuff that doesn't work out right as, oh, I failed. Look at it as an opportunity as, what am I actually missing here? Because there's something better on the horizon. So going forward in the next 1 month, 6 months, or a year, your immediate future, is the Ace of Wands. You got a passion project coming in, or this could be that relationship from the lovers coming into a fruition where you connect, quote unquote, for the first time and the fires spark. So you've got a couple of different things going on, but it's all about new beginnings, new growth. And when we have wands, it's fire, which is generally your opposite, but in this aspect, it's saying this is going to light the fire under your rear end, and really things are going to start moving for you. So your challenges, the difficulties, sorting through that shadow, these are all things that are going to inspire you. These are all things that are going to light that fire within you that triggers, it could be a change in life circumstances, or it could be just that needed push to take those next active steps versus all the planning steps. So your future's looking pretty good here, Water. Your inner world, this is your personal attitude where things are going on in here, is the Knight of Wands. You have a little bit of a fiery temperament going on here. I almost said attitude. I'm not sure if that's the right word or not. But it's saying that inside, you know where you're headed, and you're kind of feeling spicy because you've had to fight before. You've had to fight to get anywhere in life at times, and you're kind of just ready to like bow up internally. Like, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I'm just going to fight my way through everything. But the Page of Pentacles is saying that's not the best option. That's saying you've done all this prep work, don't throw it away. Be ready to take the next steps as appropriate. But you also have the Page of Swords. So this is a challenge for you, knowing when to fight and when to maybe look at alternative paths. And that's where your inner world is like, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom of being able to go to war if you need to. But the Knight is someone who's been to war before and knows that that's not always the best solution. So your inner world, you're really tying into this energy of the Page of Swords, because you know that there's a time and a place, you know that there's always another option, but you're not sure. The Page of Swords is saying you're not sure how you're going to navigate that. But the Knight of Wands is saying you already got this. You're not going to have to question it. When the time comes, you'll know what action to take. So that's actually encouraging. Your outside world, the environment around you, the stuff you really don't have a lot of control over, is Fortune's Wheel, number 10. Wheel of Fortune is the other name for it. This is really saying that the outside world is cycling. You are trying to move outside of the normal pattern. Well, this is what the next step is, and this is what you have to do, because that's the outside world's plans. This is how you're supposed to live your life. But that's not how you live. The outside world is trying to shove you back into its cycle. But Water, you've never followed everyone else's pattern. You make your own. When something dams up, you can create a new life. An entertaining video, well, not really entertaining, it's a good movie. If you want to understand more about some of the concepts I'm talking about, it sounds weird. Memoirs of a Geisha, they talk about how water always reaches its destination one way or another. If it gets blocked up, if it gets stopped, it'll make a new path. It will wear its way through iron, through stone, through wood. Water is kind of an unstoppable force when we really get to looking at how it works. There's other things that are like that too, but they all kind of move like water. Kind of makes sense. So the Wheel of Fortune is saying the outside world is trying to say, this is your box. You have to stay here. These are the patterns. That's not the case, Water. But you get to make the decision as to when to step up, when to listen to them, and when to forge your own path. So your hopes and fears, this is kind of where things are going. We have the Two of Swords. And this is an interesting one because there is this fear of failure. There's this fear of not being successful, doing the wrong thing, where you're the one who has to kind of hide away. You have to protect yourself. You've been hurt in the past, water. So your response when challenged is to pull in, circle the wagons, defend yourself. But the hope is that you no longer need that, because you understand there's times when those people are saying dumb things. It's just because they are worried. They're afraid. That doesn't mean you have to be afraid. You've done your prep work. That's the Page of Pentacles, is you've set everything up. Now you're in the point of action. So your hope is how well things are going to go. And you're kind of passing through a gateway of spirituality here, because this is intuition. The moon is your intuition, the subconscious mind. So you're passing from that subconscious into the physical. And that can be a little scary. That can trigger some of those fears. But the hope is, this is the hope you looked for, is the success that comes after. You have to overcome the fear to be able to access that next level. And that's where they're encouraging you right now is, yes, this next few steps might be a little bit of a challenge. You're trying to sort through your shadow on top of it, but your goal at the end is really going to end up in a good spot. The Lovers and the Ace of Wands are both saying you're heading in the right direction and things are going to get better. So your overall outcome, and this confirms all of that, is number 17, bad with Roman numerals, the star. This is saying success, but you're looking to the stars. You're aiming for the moon, but you're going to land in the stars. Wherever your plan is, it's actually going to turn out better than what you thought. Like, you have a plan, you have this goal. It's like, let's say it's right here. This is your goal plan. But where you're going to end up is up here. Because the universe is conspiring in your favor. You're doing the prep work. You're doing the things following your heart, following your soul, following that inner guidance. You're taking the path of righteous persistence. You're doing the things following morals and ethics, so to speak. And that's going to lead you to this highest aspect. You're going to succeed in ways that you never thought possible. And now, is that saying that you're going to have everything all at once? No. But where you're going to end up is going to be far beyond where you thought you were. So as you go through this month of September, it's definitely worth keeping your eyes open and seeing what happens, because there's going to be some changes going on here. But it looks like everything's going to play out the way it's supposed to, especially if you tap into that deeper sense of awareness. So let's take a peek at some oracle cards, get a little more clarity, maybe answer a question, or just see what else Source wants to bring in. In the meantime, while I'm shuffling here, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and comment. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. And like I said, if you get a different impression or intuitive guidance, if you're comfortable with it, like I said, it's always interesting to hear other people's opinions. So feel free to drop those down in the comments. As long as we're respectful, it's all we can really ask for, right? So your first oracle card is number 30. It is Believe. Water, the energy that I'm getting really strongly right now is believe in yourself. Why let someone else's opinion of you dampen your spirits? Why let someone else's thoughts on what you're doing with your life become a problem? If you want to open that business, and you're still working your day job, so you're paying your bills, you're not harming anyone that way, then do so. If you want to start reading tarot and your family is very much against it because they think it's evil or wrong, okay, that's their opinion. They can have that. You don't have to carry it with you. That's where you believe in yourself. You believe in your connection to God, Source Divine, and test it. Pray about it. Really get intuitive with it. Meditate. Because when you start to believe in yourself, you basically become unstoppable, because it doesn't matter what other people think. You can hear their opinions all day long, and that's great. You can learn from some of them, but you don't have to follow it anymore, and it really doesn't affect you because it's just their opinion. So that's where you believe in yourself and get strong in that. Your second card is number 13, Intermingle. Be social this month, Water. There's been other times, especially for water, and there's one other element, that's been going through a period of maybe some quiet time, pulling away a little bit. This is your reminder that it's good to go out and connect with other people. Intermingle. Have a different conversation with people. You've got fire, you've got air, you've got water, you've got earth. They're all coming together around the passion flower. They're all coming together to connect, to grow, to expand. And intermingling is a way for your soul, your mind, and sometimes your body, depending on what you're doing, to grow with it. and you're helping others because you're willing to have those discussions. You're willing to be connected to those other people. And so you've got a really good vibe going on here, water. Let's take a peek at your last oracle card. Oh, this is fun. Number 42, enthusiasm. Don't forget, no matter how much hard work there is, if you're not doing it with some enthusiasm, you're not doing it with fun, you're not tapping into your immediate future, the passion that goes with it, what's the point? You're here to have fun. You're here to enjoy life. We're here to grow spiritually. And there's times you're going to have challenges. But what's interesting is when we face those challenges head on with enthusiasm, with what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? When you come out on the other side, there is this amazing joy. There's this quiet confidence that we did it. God, Source Divine, my guides and guardians, myself, we went through that problem and we came out on the other side victorious. We did it together. So overall, just from the oracle cards, water, you're in a really good place. Believe in yourself. Work with the people who are aligned with you, but also be willing to have the conversations with those who challenge you. We grow through challenge. And the enthusiasm is stay curious. Stay open to these new experiences. That's what's going to help it really accelerate your success and your prosperity, because you got the Lovers and the Ace of Wands. They're really talking big things happening, really positive outcomes. So if you guys are, like I said, let me know in the comments down below. With that, I will let you guys go. Have a great month of September, and I will see you in the next video.